Wait a minute. I didn't even go live yet, did I? Oh, you're live. Hello. My name's Barry. Welcome to Christianity Explained. Today we're going to tackle a very tough topic, and it's one that we need to talk about. And that is the issue of trust in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, especially as it comes to the stuff we watch and hear on the internet. YouTube, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. Now, I want to call up some important data before we really dive uh, into today's topic, because it will set some data. Now, let me see. Okay. What you're seeing over here, and I'll make this a bit bigger for you. Mm. Okay. Now, don't worry. This gentleman here is Sean Cannell. He is the owner of a company called Think Media. And one of their primary goals is to train people in the art of how to create content for YouTube and other video platforms. Sean is a committed Christian. He's and that and it's his school that I took some time to learn the framework for doing YouTube. Now he's going to take this from more of a business perspective and not what we would normally uh, see in terms of Christian ministry, which is the angle I was looking at when I joined in. But he does provide some interesting insight, especially in this case. So I'll start the video and let Sean take it from here. I'm just going to show one short clip.
Threat 5. We're in an online trust recession. Right now, only 41% of Americans believe online content is accurate and human generated. You know, it's funny. I posted an actual AI generated short on our Think Media channel. And in the comments, even though this was fully AI generated, someone in the comments goes, I've known Sean was AI for some time. I knew.
No, Sean is not AI. And I've did some interaction. Fun guy and very insightful. But unfortunately, did you catch what he at the beginning? It's like,
And I wasn't, but they're like, yeah, I think he's been an AI avatar for some time. What if I've been an AI avatar this whole time since 2010? Maybe I'm an AI avatar right now.
right.
Well, 41.
Now, I'm going to repeat in case you didn't catch what he said at the beginning. This is coming from, this is trust recession. This is coming, first is only 41% of Americans believe online content is completely accurate and human general. So that means 9, 50, so 59% say no.
51% of people watching this believe that this isn't even a human generated video, right? So we're in a trust recession. You could take it deeper. 75% say they trust the internet less than ever, and 80% of consumers said they distrust influencers. They view them as dishonest, inauthentic, and lacking transparency. So this is a problem. If you're trying to build an income stream with brand deals, get sponsors, if you've got a message, if you've got a mission, if you've got anything to sell, you need trust. The bottom line is if you don't earn trust, you don't get clicks, you don't get views, and you definitely don't get conversions. Threat number 6.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. uh, whoop, wrong one. I see somebody made it. Now, did you catch what Sean was saying there? And now, if you don't know how this impact ministry, like my channel, for instance, uh, it affects people because they are now, because they're so saturated. So how do we get into this mess? People have become so saturated, especially Christians who are looking for Christian content. They've been saturated with this stuff to the point where it's like, okay, I don't know. And I've even run into occasion. Hey, please let me know if you're hearing me all right. I realize the mic had to be close to my mouth, and I had to speak up a little more than normal. uh, and by the way, AIs are probably not going to do it that way. But see, that's the problem. Because it's saturated with it, it's like, it gets to the point where our ability to discern truth from error gets worn out because of it. And a tendency to either go to the extreme of, okay, everything's junk, or, oh, I'll just believe. I'll give you a good case in point. Uh, the other day, I found out that someone created a YouTube channel. Uh, John Wesley Today. If you don't know, John Wesley is the founder of the Methodist movement. And basically, what I saw was uh, basically it was just an audio narration of one of John Wesley's work. It looked good, but uh, I was going, okay, is this really from John Wesley's work, or what? The reason was, as Tom indicated, was the lack of transparency from uh, the owner of that YouTube channel. He didn't start the channel, the video, saying that this AI. He could have started with saying this AI generated video was it was created by me with some to that effect, and say the source material you're hearing come from uh, XYZ. Something to let us, the viewer, know, oh, so this is from the public domain. This is actually is his work. That way we can look it up for ourselves. Uh, might have also, if he thought of it, provided a link, something. That way people who don't know and they're not dependent on someone to come along and say, guy, you might not be listening to the real John Wesley's work here, or hope somebody who could verify. Mhm. Okay, maybe you don't care about John Wesley. How about somebody you do like? Oh, I don't know. Let's say Martin Luther. I haven't found that one yet, but it's probably coming because people are hungry to hear uh, audio version of these historical Christian figures who had such an impact on Christianity. They want to, but why don't they read? Maybe because it's a little challenging for them. I don't know. But it's the same principle. All right. And yes, I even came across a YouTube channel claiming that some motivational speech was from Vaughty Bachman. I don't listen to Vaughty. I listen to some of his stuff and it sounds good, but I don't follow him. This guy, then I noticed some people were saying, wait a minute, I know Vaughty. That's not Vaughty. There's something wrong. We have, that's the problem when we don't have some transparency. That allows us to say, okay, this person is honesty, and this person, okay. And unfortunately, this isn't some brand new thing that started. I was hearing reports of this uh, for quite a few years. Now, I know I can also talk to you about a story that some guy, John Parson, apparently he was in some kind of coma. Something happened, had an NDE, near death experience, and the video I initially saw had me say, hmm, this guy really kind of has his Bible, a little more than what I come to expect from some of the NDE I have read or heard. I read John Burke's book on imagining heaven. Uh, this guy sounded, wow, what was going on here? But I look now, the gentleman who did the channel, and he actually did a reasonably a pretty good job. Uh, he's not the problem. The problem and concern I had came when I saw the comment section. Uh, People were polite. It's just that because of the oversaturation of AI content, it's like, it's easier to fall, and that rather than practice discernment, and that's something we need to do. The scripture does uh, say plainly in First Thessalonians uh, chapter 5, starting with 19 to 22, uh, we're told not to quench the spirit, uh, but to test everything. Yes, and hold on to what's good and despise what's evil. First John chapter 4 says essentially the same thing. Believe not everything, but test to see if it is of God. If it says that Jesus came in the flesh, great. Something to that effect. And yes, uh, reading the scripture honestly is a big help. But what can we do beyond that instead of leaving it uh, to the average person? Well, as Christian content creators, we, especially with whatever this, you don't have to be in discernment. If you're using AI for something, say something. I don't use too much AI too often at all, but I also understand people are wary. But like I said about the guy who did the John Wesley, I, I even left a message saying, hey, it would be good if you put a citation in the beginning. Be upfront, let people know. There's a guy, I think he's Reformed Calvinist or something like that. Uh, I forget it. I forget what his channel name is. He's out in Germany. Oh, that brings up the next point. He does very good quality work, and he's using AI animation, all that. But you could tell he putting some effort in, and that's another thing we need because that's part of the problem. Hmm. Oh, yes. Now, hmm. Let me think. Yeah. Now, if you're wondering what my background, if you look through my channel, you'll find that I've done some stuff, quite a few things with AI related. Uh, hmm. I, and I'm trying to, sorry, folks, I'm trying to be a little more focused because there's so much that can be talked about. One, uh, as Christians, we need to uh, hold ourselves to a higher standard, and that is in terms of our behavior and conduct, because we need to stand out. We can't just produce any old content just and hope for a click. It doesn't work that way, especially when people are vulnerable to deception. There's hoping and trusting that will help them with that. Hmm. And we do have to take some responsibility for the stuff we put out. And that's really was my prayer, that these guys would resist the temptation, because like the guy with the John Wesley channel, today's channel, he could put out two. I noticed he put out like two videos every few days. Great. But unfortunately, some people, they got the idea that, oh, let me do like a math dumping. Well, thankfully, YouTube was taking some steps to put a kibosh on that one. In fact, according to Sean, in a different part of that video I showed, uh, YouTube is even quickly, had the AI quickly learning, okay, this thing is lazy content. So, in other words, hmm, it sounds like they got a hold of that proverb. You know, the one that says, see a man who's skillful in his work, he or she will serve before a king. Hmm. I highly doubt they all read that, but it's not unusual. Hmm. And that in itself, how did that help with the trust? Well, when people see you're putting quality, making it that important, and not just doing things for the click, guess what? They're more apt to want to listen and give you their attention. Hmm. Mm. 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 Yeah. So, gee, I wonder who's joining me for tonight. Oh well. Yeah. So how else do we had Bill? Part of equality, yes. Um and not and learning to trust God to provide to do the drawing as needed and the and direct our step. Many of the plans of in a man's heart, but it is God who directs our step and will direct us in the way to go. Yes, that's Proverbs. As my friend Chris was fond of reminding me, and and that is read the book of Proverbs, the daily Proverbs, on a regular basis. That'll instruct your brain to think about wisdom and putting it into action. You know what? I think I heard an echo in the room. Not literally. Uh, Another friend, Mark Williams, whom you never heard of, had said the same thing a long time ago. Mm. Oh boy. Mm. Mm. Oh boy. So what other thing can we do? Yeah. Hmm. And I think we need to resist the temptation to uh, broad brush everything that that is that can be done with AI. Because there is a lot of good, but unfortunately, one of the biggest problems with AI, artificial intelligence, and it doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT, Gemini, or some other brand. These models are owned by somebody, like OpenAI, Google. uh, I think it's Anthropic. I forget who owns Claude. The AI itself is neutral. It's neither good or evil. It's up to you or me to decide how we will use the tool. So we're the one responsible for how it works. Okay, and unfortunately, the developer, if they're not, if they don't know the laws, if they don't know uh, and understand who Jesus is and what His word says and all that, guess what? They can be open and prone to doing things out of pure wickedness and may not even realize it or intentional. That's why it's a good idea to pray that the Lord would touch their heart in such a way that they would say no to the temptation to do what is evil in the sight of God. That would be something worth doing. And I would certainly encourage that. Mhm. Mm. And yes, I am well aware of the latest conspiracy theory, as it were. Oh, the one from Revelation 13, the one that says the speaks of the talking statue or whatever it's turning into. Now it's an artificial intelligence. Hmm. Yeah, that's actually not new. uh, I think I've seen iterations of that in sci-fi movies. Yeah. And if you've never seen The Wizard of Oz, that's kind of what's being referred to. There was always that guy hiding behind the curtain, and everybody's looking at the illusion. Nope. Somebody needs to pay attention to that little barking dog would did a better job discerning. You total. Oh God. Hey, let me know if this is helping you at all. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Oh well. Oh, all right. I'm sorry if this is not the most exciting thing, but we do need. I do need to talk with you guys. Yeah. Hmm. All right. I'm just thinking in my mind. Scripture. Yeah. All right. Now, a scripture that just came to mind was Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God did not give. He's talking to Timothy. For God had not given you, we could say, give us a spirit of fear and timidity, but rather one of power, love, and a sound mind. You don't. We don't have to live in fear and anxiety over what may or may not happen, and fear about what uh, the future holds, or uh, possible deception. That's number one. Two, in order to discern properly, you need to do critical thinking and be willing to investigate. In fact, that's kind of what I did with the John Parsons thing, because I was kind of one concerned, and I did do some investigation of my own with that. For those of you uh, who don't know, and sorry I didn't think to mention in detail, John apparently had some kind of heart attack, something. Uh, he uh, was rushed to the hospital, and he uh, apparently died and met Jesus, come back, waking up and said, I saw Jesus. And he was in a viral shorts. Sometime a little bit later, he does a video explaining what happened. And sure, and he was understanding that people were going to be a little skeptical. And he doesn't blame him. Good. But I was a little. Now, was I a little skeptical? Yes, because I've heard these kind of stuff before, and question came to mind, and so I listened carefully, and I ignored uh, what the what the gentleman whose channel I was watching was used. I ignored the fade to the AI generated landscape, whatever that was, because I wanted to listen, not with the eye, but with the ears. That's how I was able to pick up something. The next day or so, I did some digging because I saw what some people were saying, and I said, "Dude, let me investigate here." And I checked uh, the test I ran. I basically asked AI, "Hey, examine this video," because I know that that uh, ChatGPT and Gemini have the ability to detect if you're watching. and AI generated content. And they said, no, this is real. Oh, and gave me some tips on how to identify. Plus, I even went so far because I had chat, the free one, said, can you run a spectrum on? And it came out fine. Asked another question. And I said, oh, wait a minute, this is a person. And shared my own observation. And that's how I found out that, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he's saying he had a very sounds like he was doing kind of like a sermon, but somebody who is used to giving a sermon and is used to communicating in that way, in that calm, measured, pastoral. And I'm like, that's interesting. And because it was the stuff I picked up, Chat didn't know what I picked up because I didn't even tell him. But he knows enough of me that I'm going to be picking up on something. Mm. See, that's some of the thing. And I even told the guy, hey, get a hold of Alabama Woodman. Have him, because I knew Alabama has more experience in investigating than I do. And and there's good reason for that. So hopefully he did. Hmm. But guess what, folks? That's part of what the sermon is. We don't just quietly go along, and we don't just say, okay, I'm going to wipe it out and go to the extreme. No. Critical thinking and discernment require we investigate. Hmm. And investigating does not mean unbelief. Investigating means uh, I need to check things out, especially with all the junk that we have coming. Those are things we can do ourselves, whether you're a content creator or not. Hmm. All right. Wow. How am I doing, my dear friend who is hiding back here? Appreciate you sticking around. Hmm. Oh well. Oh, somebody else just stood up. Hey, who's the lucky person that just came in? I don't mind repeating if you need me to. Just need you to tell me. Oh boy. If you like, hmm, I can drop because I'm using the Restream Studio. Uh, I can drop an invite link and let you come in, depending on who you are, that is. Hmm. Oh well. Oh boy. I wanted, if you're wondering, I'm waiting to see if I get any kind of reply from whoever it is that showed up. All right, I guess not. Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. I think I pretty much covered a lot of what I had intended. And the reason I was hoping to get some kind of interaction, because there might be some others. Uh, because, like, one time I covered the topic of how you can use something like ChatGPT to investigate um, uh, certain claims being made by online. And I've done that. I even used it because I knew a guy was making claims about a certain personality, and I'm like, wait a minute. If it's public record, uh, you can investigate things like that or find out information about certain public figures. It really is a lot. And I know some of you guys might be uncomfortable, but guys, stuff like that aren't going anywhere. But that's why we need to be wise in our use of it. And remember, it's a tool. It's supposed to be a help. Like, I'll use it for some research and everything. But I don't rely on chat to do everything. I still have to investigate for myself. Because it's not always going to be right. Hmm. And also have to be aware of confirmation bias. Hmm. Ah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a friend whom I would have loved to have him back on, but I know he's been busy with work, so I haven't really thought to bother him much. Hmm. Oh well. Wow. I got some shy individual. Hmm. All right. Uh, well, I guess nobody wants to say anything, so then I'll wrap wrap it up and thank you for your time and hope you have a blessed day and I will see you when I see ya.